I'm Graeme Rutherford, and I'm speaking with Alison Washington, musician and composer. Alison, tell us about the inspiration behind your music.
Well, I was first asked to write Christian music in 1981 by the parish priest I was working for, and he and you have both encouraged me greatly to write. And Holy Spirit was written for Pentecost Sunday, and it'll be published this year in the Presbyterian Hymn Book. But I just sit down and think about the subject I've been given, and away I go.
Beethoven, you know, was deaf, and Wagner was mad. Are you a bit eccentric as a composer?
Some people think I am, particularly if I think of a tune when I'm doing the dishes or something like that, which often happens, or in the middle of the night. But no, I don't think I'm mad. I'm just well read in music, and I enjoy writing.
I'm sure you're not. Alison, is all your music spontaneous and free?
A lot of it is, such as 3 of the carols that I've written, which were recently published in the Covenant Carol Songbook, and some of the songs in Praise for All Seasons also. They're spontaneous in style. And also Be Silent Now, which we'll hear later on the program. But some of them are not so free. They follow the liturgy of the Anglican prayer book, such as our Holy Communion in D, which was published in March this year by Acorn Press.
How do you manage to get that balance between the freedom and the spontaneity on the one hand and the liturgy and the ordered worship of the church on the other?
Well, I found with the Holy Communion a setting was needed to go with the second order, and it had to be singable by the average congregation, so it couldn't go higher than a D, and yet it's set in 4 parts for choir as well. And also I've set a lot of the psalms in the older style tradition of early worship, early church worship, and I've alternated it with a more simple lyrical setting such as Psalm 84, which is vocal ternary style with a chorus after each verse. The other psalms, like Psalm 138, are set with a cantor and an antiphonal response by the congregation and the choir, so it sort of incorporates the whole body into the one worshipping song.
Yes. Well, you mentioned the psalms now. They're very difficult. Some people would want to know, why do you bother about the psalms?
Well, I think they need to be sung. They're psalms of God, and they've grown from the earliest forms of worship in the Jewish tradition, and the Christians have taken them on, and they express every gamut of human emotion, I think, from sadness to joy and pathos and great anguish, and I really find them very worshipful, and I always find that when I'm writing them I seem very close to God.
adore.